Tehran stands today as the beating heart of Iran, functioning as both its political nerve center and its most dominant urban force. With nearly 9 million people in the city proper and over 16 million in the greater metropolitan area, it is a staggering human hive. It dominates the region as one of the most populous urban centers in West Asia, a title earned through sheer administrative will. But this city is far more than a collection of census data and infrastructure. It is a metropolis that grew not from the bounty of nature, but from the cold calculations of strategic necessity. Historically, cities flourish near water, yet Tehran possesses no great waterway to facilitate trade or provide easy life. It commands the nation's economy, culture, and power through a series of human-made triumphs over a harsh environment. This lack of natural advantages makes its current status as a regional titan all the more impressive and unlikely. To understand the modern identity of this place, one must look past the skyscrapers and into the soil. Beneath the asphalt of this modern giant lie the ancient roots of a settlement that predates the modern era by millennia. Long before Tehran rose to international prominence, this land was part of the ancient city of Rhages, a powerful settlement dating back thousands of years. Rhages, also known as Ray, was once a key stop on the Silk Road, a center of commerce and theology. Waves of invasions eventually brought the great city of Rhages to its knees, leaving its survivors to seek refuge nearby. These survivors gradually shifted their focus toward the northern slopes, settling in what would eventually become the foundation of Tehran. Archaeological evidence reveals that human settlement in this specific region stretches back over 6,000 years. This deep history embeds the city within the earliest layers of Persian civilization, connecting modern urbanites to the dawn of human society. For centuries, however, Tehran remained a modest, unremarkable village, existing in the long shadow of its more illustrious neighbors. It was a place of gardens and underground dwellings, far removed from the halls of imperial power. That changed forever in the year 1786, when the founder of the Qajar dynasty made a monumental choice. Agha Mohammed Khan selected this unassuming village to serve as the new capital of his empire. This was not a decision based on beauty or tradition, but on a cold, calculated strategic vision. Tehran's proximity to the contested northern territories made it an ideal base for maintaining political and military control. By moving the seat of power here, the ruler could keep a watchful eye on both internal rivals and external threats from the north. Furthermore, the village lacked a deeply entrenched elite class, which significantly reduced the risk of local political resistance. Ironically, the historical weakness and insignificance of the village became its greatest strength in the eyes of the monarch. Under the reign of subsequent rulers like Nasir al-Din Shah, the city began a rapid and dramatic transformation. This era saw the introduction of the first university, the first railway, and the first modern banks and museums. These institutions were more than just buildings. They were symbols of a nation attempting to step into the light of the modern age. Architectural gems like the Goldston Palace were expanded and adorned with intricate tilework and mirrored halls. Urban planning began to reflect European-style layouts, signaling a shift in the way the Persian elite viewed their place in the world. Despite these grand ambitions, by the late 19th century, Tehran remained relatively small compared to its current scale. It was merely beginning its long and arduous climb toward the status of a global megacity. The transition from a royal seat to a modern industrial hub would require another century of upheaval and change. The 20th century arrived with a force that would reshape the city's physical and social landscape forever. The Iranian Revolution of 1979 turned the city into the global epicenter of political and religious upheaval. This massive social shift replaced an ancient monarchy with a unique Islamic republic, changing the city's identity overnight. The streets of Tehran became the stage for a drama that captivated the entire world, signaling a break from the past. Soon after the revolution, the city faced one of its darkest chapters during the Iran-Iraq War. This conflict brought the horror of modern warfare directly to the urban population through missile strikes and air raids. These events, known as the War of the Cities, left physical scars on the architecture and deep emotional scars on the inhabitants. However, the destruction of war also forged a profound sense of resilience among the people of Tehran. The city did not merely survive these tragedies, it evolved and expanded with a renewed sense of purpose. Today, the skyline is defined by iconic landmarks that tell the story of this complex national identity. The Azadi Tower, or Freedom Tower, stands as a monumental gateway, blending Sassanid and Islamic architectural styles. It remains a powerful symbol of the nation's long history and its modern aspirations for independence. In contrast, the towering Milad Tower pierces the clouds as the sixth tallest telecommunications tower in the world. This structure represents the technological ambition of a city looking toward the future. Bridges like the Tabiat Bridge offer a different perspective, blending innovative engineering with the natural beauty of urban parks. These landmarks reflect a city that is constantly trying to balance its deep traditions with the demands of the 21st century. This balance is also reflected in the people who walk the streets every day. Tehran is far from being a monolithic Persian city. It is a vibrant and complex cultural melting pot. While the Persian language and culture dominate, the city is home to one of the largest Azerbaijani populations in the world. Kurds, Armenians, Assyrians, and many other ethnic groups contribute to the city's rich and diverse social fabric. This mix of backgrounds has turned the capital into a cultural crossroads where different languages and traditions merge. The result is a uniquely urban rhythm that is distinct from any other city in the Middle East. The geography of the city also plays a fundamental role in shaping its internal social dynamics. Nestled at the foot of the Alborz mountain range, the city is dominated by the presence of peaks like Mount Damavand. The topography creates a dramatic elevation shift from the northern districts to the southern plains. The north rises into cooler, greener districts where the air is fresh and the wealthy often reside. In contrast, the south stretches into the dry, dusty plains that lead toward the great central desert of Iran. This elevation difference creates distinct microclimates within the same urban boundaries. A single day can offer snowy winters in the high-altitude north and much warmer temperatures in the industrial south. This geography also presents significant environmental challenges that the city must grapple with daily. Air pollution, driven by intense traffic, and the city's bowl-like topography remains a constant threat to public health. The mountains that provide such a beautiful backdrop also trap smog over the city, creating a persistent gray haze. Water scarcity is another looming crisis for this megacity, as the population continues to outgrow the available resources. Furthermore, the city sits on several major fault lines, making the risk of a catastrophic earthquake a constant concern for planners. These environmental pressures have sparked recurring discussions among officials about the possibility of relocating the capital. While the idea is debated frequently in the halls of government, the sheer scale of the city makes such a move difficult to realize. Despite these daunting challenges, Tehran remains the undisputed economic engine of the entire nation. Nearly half of the major industries in Iran are concentrated within the metropolitan area of the capital. A vast portion of the nation's skilled workforce is drawn to the city, seeking opportunities in manufacturing, tech, and finance. The Tehran Stock Exchange serves as the anchor for the country's financial life, navigating complex global constraints. Even under the weight of international sanctions, the city continues to drive national development through innovation and sheer necessity. This economic power is supported by a massive and complex infrastructure network. The city's transit system reflects the scale of its daily human movement. A vast network of highways and a rapidly expanding metro system attempt to keep the millions of commuters moving. Air travel flows through major hubs like the Imam Khomeini International Airport, which serves as the primary gateway to the world. Navigating the streets of Tehran is a test of patience and skill, as millions of vehicles compete for space in a perpetual ballet of movement. Yet within this chaos, there is a deep and structured sense of life and cultural expression. Tehran thrives as a center for the arts, housing world-class museums that showcase everything from ancient pottery to modern masterpieces. Vibrant festivals, experimental theaters, and a world-renowned cinema scene provide a constant stream of creative energy. The University of Tehran stands as a pillar of intellectual life, fostering generations of thinkers, scientists, and activists. Fashion and music continue to evolve in creative ways, often pushing the boundaries of the complex social frameworks that govern the country. This creative spirit is a testament to the city's ability to reinvent itself time and time again. In the end, Tehran reveals itself as a city of profound and inescapable contradictions. It is ancient yet modern, constrained by regulation yet bursting with creative energy, chaotic on the surface yet deeply structured in its social bonds. The city is not defined by a single narrative, but by layers of history, resilience, and constant reinvention. It is a capital born from cold political strategy, shaped by the fires of conflict, and sustained by the millions who call it home. These people continue to redefine what it means to live at the crossroads of ancient tradition and rapid change. As we look at the trajectory of this mountain-shadowed giant, we see a lesson in the power of human will over environmental limitation. Tehran teaches us that even when the odds are stacked against us and the landscape is unforgiving, we can build something of immense scale. It reminds us that our environments do not dictate our destinies as much as our strategic choices and our ability to adapt. We must ask ourselves if we are capable of such resilience in the face of our own modern challenges. What are the mountains in your own life that seem to block your progress, and how can you turn those constraints into a foundation for growth? The story of Tehran is a reminder that beauty and power often emerge from the most unlikely and difficult circumstances. It is a city that demands to be understood on its own terms, far away from the simplified headlines of the evening news. If this journey through the heart of the Alborz Mountains has sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever visited a city that felt like a world of its own, or do you live in a place defined by its contradictions? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Thank you for watching.